Hello, it's Thursday. We all know what that means. It's my Weight Watchers weigh-in day. How did I do? Well, I'm about to tell you. But first, I want to share just a little bit about my topic that will follow my weigh-in for this week. I think it's a good one. I think we all need to hear it. And if you read my thumbnail, then you already know what it is. If you didn't read my thumbnail, then you'll have to wait and find out what it is. So I hope you will stay tuned for this week's topic. In my opinion, it's a good one. Now, on to my weekly weigh-in. Last Thursday, I weighed in at 122.6. And as most of you will remember, I was very happy. I was satisfied that I had worked the plan the way that I needed to. Now, I did share last Friday when I made the video that I was in Florida, and that when I'm in Florida, it is very hard for me to track. And sure enough, it was sort of like I told the future, because when I weighed in on Monday in Florida, I was up about 2 pounds. I weighed 124.5. Now, that scale is not calibrated with the scale I have here at home, exactly how accurate it is, but I do think it weighs me just a little heavy, maybe a half a pound. So I do think that I was up 1.5 pounds. And I really thought I had done well over the weekend, but I obviously didn't over-guesstimate like my plans were for when I was in Florida. My work was cut out for me, and I tried my best to try to recoup and get that weight back down. My goal for this week was to come close to a perfect week. I wanted to still be under the 123 mark. Unfortunately, that was not the case because I'm back home now, and when I got on the scale this morning, I weighed in at 123.6. That means from last Thursday, weighing in on my home scale, to this Thursday, weighing in on my home scale, I gained 1 pound. So that's accurate. Not happy that it was 1 pound, but I do understand it because of the situation I go through nearly every time when I'm in Florida. And I tried so hard not to overeat. I tried so hard to stay on the plan that I was on the week before, but obviously I didn't do it. So that's my results for this week. Maybe next week I can get back down below 123. If not, I'm going to be okay as long as I stay in my happy weight. I've got to. That is my future, to stay in my happy weight. Now, let's get on to the topic. I was a little hesitant to go ahead and do this topic today. And I guess the reason for that is I gained 1 pound this week. But you see, I pick out my topics weeks before I film them. And I do them because I feel like they are necessary for you and for me too. So that's what I'm doing this week. I can follow this topic as well as anybody can this week, because today's topic is learn from the past, don't repeat it. And obviously, I didn't totally learn from what I had been dealing with throughout the last half of May and the 1st of June, where I seemed to be gaining 0.5 pound every week, because here I am 1 pound heavier. So why did I pick learn from the past and don't repeat it? Well, I picked that because I needed to do that years ago. I had to learn to do that because for probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 years, I kept trying to do something over and over again, and I never got my weight under control. I never was able to stay in a healthy weight range. You know, Papa has a quote that he shares quite often, and I believe it's from Einstein. And the quote says, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results." Now, if Einstein knew that, there must be something to it. And I know in my experience, there definitely was something to it, because that's exactly what I did. I would start most of the time they were fad diets. A few times they weren't, but they were diets. And I would start them and have great success for, anywhere up to 3 months. And then I'd get off of them and go back to eating the way that I ate for the most part for 40 years, which means overeating and not paying attention to what I was eating. And then I kept expecting there to be a revelation for me, and all of a sudden I'd be skinny and I wouldn't have to worry about my weight anymore, and that never happened. You know, I just expected it to happen through osmosis. That's not what happened. But 9 years ago, when I joined Weight Watchers, something clicked. And what that something was how I could control my future in my weight. Now, I normally don't really push Weight Watchers, even though that's what I have been on all these 9 years that I've had this healthy weight range. But I'm going to push it a little bit today, because I believe with all my heart that's where my success lies, is with Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers has a plan that if we will just give 30 minutes a day to it, we can be successful in the long run. You know, I had to give up that old life of yo-yo dieting and going from eating fad foods to going back to eating the way I always did and gaining the weight back plus an extra 10, 15 pounds more. I had to give that up. So my thinking is I learned from the past, because all those years that I wasn't learning, I was repeating it. Today, I hope that will be something that you can learn from before you go through all the yo-yo dieting. I mean, if you've already done it, like I have for about 40 years, I hope that you can stop it, that you can put an end to the things that don't work. The thinking that you're going to do something exactly the same and get different results, that's not going to happen. If I do exactly the same thing with Weight Watchers, I will have the same results. And that means I'll be in a healthy weight range. Now, am I perfect? Oh no, I wish I was, but I'm not. But each time I try to learn something new. Whenever I fall off the wagon or whatever I have done that week, I hope that I learn something new each week that I can share with all of y'all. But not just to share it with you, but for me to understand it too. So hopefully that's what you can take away from the topic today, because we all need to learn from the past and to not repeat it. So if you're repeating the past over and over again like I did, stop. Don't repeat it anymore. Before I end today's video, by the way, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, and please leave a comment below and let me know if this topic resonated with you. But I do have a program note that will involve these next 2 weeks of my YouTube life. I will be out of pocket until after July the 16th. And I will be about 2,000 miles away from where I am right now. Now, it's still in the United States, so you can tell it's quite a bit away. And I will be in a rural area, and I have no earthly idea whether I will have cell service, internet service, anything like that. So my posting may be limited. If I'm able to make a video, I will, and I'll post it. If not, please bear with me and know that I will be back. I would not desert y'all for anything, but it possibly could be a couple of weeks before you see me again. I covet your prayers. I'm doing something that is totally out of the box. I've been offered an opportunity to do something connected with my faith, and so I'm very excited about it. I hope each of you will have a wonderful, on point learning experience for these next 2 weeks. God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye.